I know I talk a lot about managed payments, but over the weekend I found something that concerned me that I found with my account, and maybe there's others out there that have this issue. Maybe not. Maybe it's unique to me, but I highly doubt it. So we're going to discuss that here on the other side of the intro. So without any further ado, let's go. Welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. For those of you who've never watched my videos before, I'm a full-time reseller, and I also do YouTube videos to help other eBayers and resellers out there succeed in this business that we call flipping or reselling. And I want to discuss with you today about some things that I noticed with my account, and maybe there's somebody out there that's affected with this as well. But before I begin, please do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel or you've maybe seen a video or two and you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you have subscribed to the channel and this is the content that you watch quite often, please consider hitting that notification bell so that you can be notified when I make my next video. So on this issue with my account, I was just checking out my invoice the other day. I think it was like Saturday evening. I was checking out my invoice and I noticed that when I clicked on payments, it's in the seller hub. I click on payments and then the on hold, there's like a little hyperlink. You click on hold, and I was just checking through it. I do have some returns pending. But looking down at the bottom, I noticed that there is an open case for a transaction for $50.99. It was a phone set. I believe it was like a Panasonic 4-pack of house phones that I sold last year in June. And it was a situation where they ended up returning the item, yet it's still showing as an open case. And to me, it looked like, it was just money being held. It's in the on hold section. So why is something from June 8th of 2020 still sitting in my on hold area? And so that's a problem for me. All this time they're holding that money for no reason when I thought that this was already resolved with the buyer. So then I took a screenshot of that, and of course you've already seen that screenshot. I then moved over to the available tab and just kind of scrolling through that, because what else am I going to find, And so I scroll down, and wouldn't you know it, at the bottom of that particular tab, I show 3 items that are a negative balance. I think the 3 items total over like 120 some odd dollars. And that's from April and May of 2020. What is that doing there? So of course I reach out to eBay. They transfer me over to somebody in managed payments. They do what they normally do, and that is promise you a callback. And of course I wait and do not receive a callback. So on Monday I requested a callback, got just a standard rep. I believe this one was in the Philippines. I could be wrong. I asked them to transfer me to managed payments because I knew they weren't going to be able to help me. They did get some background before transferring me. They transferred me to an agent who was in the United States and in the managed payments department, and he didn't even understand what he was looking at. And it tells me that this is sort of a one-off type situation. I don't know if any of you have seen what I've shown you here on your accounts. Maybe you should look and see. I did mention this in the live stream, but I really didn't quite have an understanding, and I still really don't. I wanted to bring it up in this video because, again, managed payments is going through a lot of glitches, and eBay is going through a lot of glitches. Maybe you all have heard they're dealing with, on Monday at least, they were dealing with a situation where listings were not showing up in your active. So if you had 150 listings, only maybe 120 of your listings were showing up, and that was a problem that eBay was, they knew about and they were working on. But what about the other issues? And in this case, for managed payments, you know, the reaction of the agent told me that this is not a common issue. And if it's happening to me, chances are it could be happening to someone else out there. And he came back and told me, hey, I see that you had moved your account from PayPal to managed payments last year in August 2020. And I said, no, I've been with managed payments since September of 2019. And for them to not know that, for it to look like my account was transferred after these transactions that are in question, just really doesn't sit well with me and makes me wonder what's going to happen here. He did promise me a callback. Of course, that has not yet happened, but they are good at telling you give it 24 to 48 hours. He told me he was going to be contacting me directly, and I guess we're going to see. I'm going to give it another day before I call. If those charges are still there, like they still are right now, then we need to get this cleared up, because if that's money that's sort of being put on hold out of my available funds now, what, 9 or 10 months, and it's not a significant amount, but it still doesn't belong there. But maybe it's happened to someone else out there, so it's just another glitch that we're coming across. I'm coming across, and I'm reporting to you because, again, if it's happening to me, there is an outside chance that it could be happening to someone else. Or maybe my account's just cursed, and you know, it's along one of those lines where I had a problem last summer and, you know, wasn't getting any views, any impressions for like 2.5 days before they reset my account. Maybe that had something to do with what I'm seeing on these reports, and maybe there's just more to the story and they haven't cleaned up my account entirely. Hopefully they can resolve this issue. On a brighter note, and I don't know how your sales are, but I got to tell you, my sales are just outstanding. In fact, yesterday I had my largest sales day since I started doing this full time. Back in 2019, when I had all those AirPods, I was having $1,000 sales day, $1,500 sales day. I mean, those AirPods were just flying off of the shelf. With this Costco pallet, or actually multiple pallets now, the 2 different orders that I have received from them, I got to tell you, you know, this is pretty awesome. You know, I have some replenishable listings. I have these Sony headphones. You saw them in the unboxing video, and I had about 35 pairs. And of the 35 pairs, you know, 30 were in like new condition and were complete. Boxes were great. And so we took photos, we listed them as replenishables, and we gave a pretty decent price, but they weren't moving. I simply lowered the price by about $5, and wouldn't you know it, those things are just flying off the shelf early Monday morning and throughout the day on Monday. I sold all but 2 of these headphones, and I had a $2,500 sales day. That's a day after, on Sunday, I had a $900 sales day, and that's sweet. That's what we want. That's what I've been wanting. I've been looking for a lot that's going to give me that kind of return. Now, will it continue? I don't know. My hope is that it will. Some of the other items that were in that pallet, maybe I have tried to price them optimistically to where they will sort of sell on the high end of the comps that I've been looking at. I'm realistically going to have to go in and just bring some of those down because, again, we're not a storage unit. We want to get these moved. I'm happy to see that the headphones moved, and I want these other items to sell as well. And I'm confident that they will because the comps are out there. So one of the items in question is one of these Beats. I don't know if Dre's involved anymore, but I don't think so. And the Power Beats 3, and I think MSRP is like $79.99. The comps are like between $40 and $50. So I went in there, did my title, and I put them at $39.99, and I sold like 1. And I have like maybe 15 of them. And so for me, it was like, okay, what's going on here? I have these actually priced on the low end of things. So I went in and did some research on this particular item and to see what other people were doing and how they were getting theirs to sell. And I came across the listing, and it simply mentioned authentic Apple Power Beats 3. And it sort of took me back for a second because Apple did buy the Beats brand. And even though this packaging doesn't say anything about Apple at all, I thought it was genius because a lot of people out there want Apple genuine products. And as a result, this particular seller was selling them for like 45 bucks, open box, like new condition. And here I am with a different title trying to sell this item for $39.99 for the very same item. And it just shows me, and it just proves how important your titles are. If you get a catchy title, it's going to help. It's going to help, and you can actually sell your merchandise for more than what you could sell it for if you do not have the right title. So if you have slower moving items out there, maybe the title looks good, but take a look at the comps. Look at the solds on that item and see what your competitors are doing with that item as far as photos, as far as your title. And again, there's nothing wrong with using a title that's out there. Nobody owns the title. You have drop shippers that do this all the time. This is how a drop shipper can take an item from Amazon and sell it for 10, 15% over Amazon's price on eBay because they're utilizing their title. They're using title optimization, and that customer, they don't know how much that item retails for on Amazon. They just need that item. The price looks fair, and the title is catchy enough. It got their attention. They're going to buy the item. So if you have a slower moving item out there, take that advice. Check your comps. Check your title. Check your photo, and check your price, like I did. Maybe it's too low. Maybe it's too high. In most cases, it is. It's just a game of tinkering. This game we play of reselling, what works good for one item may not work for another. I think between Sunday night and Monday morning, I sold about 24, 25 sets of these headphones because I found the sweet spot price where people were willing to go and buy my item. I found that maybe I priced it about $3 or $4 lower than I probably should have, and the few that I had left, the next morning, on Monday morning, I went in and I adjusted the price, I believe, by about $4 or $5, and they were still selling. So I'm down to about maybe 2 unsold pairs. Those will probably be gone by the time you watch this video. But it just tells you, if you're sitting on something that should sell and you're up in the high comps, it's one of those things where you may be sacrificing a couple bucks, but bring that price down if your margin allows for it. My margin allowed for it because I sourced well, and as a result, these things flew off the shelf, and I just need to do a little bit better job with some of my other items. I'm going to go in and do some researching with some of the other replenishables I have that really just aren't moving, and I'm probably going to have to lower those prices. They're not as much margin if I'm looking at my cost per item to get me to really want to do that. But in reality, even if I can just get my cost back on those items, the larger ticket items are what's really getting me my profits here on these lots. And these lots are pretty good. The B-stock lots that I purchased, even the last one, I'm finding some pretty good stuff. I have a couple Onkyo receivers that are new in the box. One was opened, the device was taken out. You can tell that the internal packaging that they used was removed and put back together, and that's fine. It looks really good. It's an item that looks like it's never been really used. Maybe it didn't fit in the location they were actually looking to use it on, or maybe there's a lot of different reasons why someone would return an item. I tested it out. It works like a charm. It's a really good unit. If I was in the market for one, I would keep one, but I'm not. The MSRPs on these were $3.99 on the manifest. However, comps were showing that brand new ones were selling for about $5.50, and the new ones that are open box were selling for anywhere between $4.50 and $4.99. I went in and put my open box one for $4.79 and my brand new one for $4.99, free shipping. And wouldn't you know it, the new one sold this evening for $4.99. So yeah, MSRP is a good measurement, and just goes to show you that a lot of these liquidation companies don't jack up their MSRPs in a lot of cases. B stock is pretty good. Amazon is pretty good. And there's been times where I've been able to sell an item for more than the suggested price that's being sold, either in this case Costco or on Amazon. So don't think automatically that you're not going to be able to flip this item for full retail, because sometimes, depending on demand, it can happen. And you know what? An item will sell for whatever your customer feels it's worth. The market will dictate prices, and it's not just for collectibles. You might have that $200 baseball card you feel is worth $200 in that price guide. It may only sell to the public for $100. Maybe a hot item, it might sell for $300. It's not really dictated by a manifest or what your price guide might say it's worth. It's dictated by what the market says it's worth. And keep that in mind. It's a good tip to follow. What you may think it's worth has no value at all. You have to check the comps. You have to see what that item is selling for, and you need to match the condition as accurately as possible if you want to be able to have an idea what you're going to be able to move it for. So for me, that other Onkyo receiver, it's probably going to be just another day or two before that one sells. And the funny thing is, I can go and after shipping, take that money and go buy a brand new one at Costco for $3.99 plus tax. Go figure. I don't get it. Works for me. And it's one of the little funny things about flipping pallets, flipping things like that. While you get items that look banged up and used, sometimes you get stuff that's just brand new. Who knows why they returned it, why they changed their mind. But hey, it's my gain, their loss, and we do the best we can to make a profit. That's the name of the business. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about my little glitch with managed payments? Please leave your comments down below. Have you guys come across any strange things with managed payments? And we're not talking about the whole thing where if you don't sign up by the deadline, switching from PayPal to managed payments, you're not able to sell. That's going to happen to all of you if you don't actually go in and supply them with your social security number and your checking account by the deadline that eBay assigns to you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just strange occurrences, what may be deemed as a glitch. If you have, please put that information down below. I'd like to hear about it. Want to know what you guys think about the banner that I have here on my channel. If you haven't noticed it, we've updated the banner. I just want to get your opinion. What do you think? Leave the comment down below what you think. I think it's a lot more upbeat than the other one. The other one didn't have a whole lot of color and fire to it. It's something I created, and I'm not the most creative person. Hopefully this one gives a better look to the channel. And so while it's not a big deal, I'm always looking to tinker and make little changes to the channel. And I just want to know what you think down below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified on my next video. But guys, do me one favor. I want you to get out there, of course, source the best you can, but I want you to keep listing, keep making those sales, and just know that flipping ain't easy. And we're going to see you guys here very soon. Have a good rest of your week.